Tales of the Jedi Episode 5 breakdown, let's get straight into it. We see Anakin running towards the training room, and on his way he passes Master Sassee Tinn and Eeth Koth, both members of the Jedi Council at the time. As Anakin enters the training room, we see Ahsoka training against some Jedi training remotes, the very same used by Luke in A New Hope, with Master Yoda, Plo Koon, Windu, and Obi Wan all in attendance. We also get to see Tera Sinube as well as Caleb Dune or Kanan Jarrus in attendance alongside his master Depa Billaba, both of which we saw in the Bad Batch, and judging by Ahsoka's clothes, this puts the timeline well into the early stages of the Clone Wars. Ahsoka goes up against some new training remotes and Ahsoka easily dispatches them, much to the amazement of a young Kanan. And while the other Jedis are impressed with Ahsoka's skill, it's pretty clear that Anakin isn't so satisfied. As the two talk, we can also briefly see in the background Jedi Master Imagundi, who later dies during the Battle of Ryloth. Anakin tells her that these tests are crap and decides to make her a real test. We then see that this test involves the usage of clones instead of training remotes. Ahsoka flies to the Republic Center for Military Operations, the very same location she will be brought to but as a prisoner many years later. The test begins and Ahsoka is quickly knocked out. Ahsoka wakes up and we learn that it was Jesse that got the last shot on Ahsoka. Jesse would eventually become a lieutenant in the 501st Legion and was featured prominently during the last season of the Clone Wars. He was also the clone who, under the influence of the inhibitor chip, tried to execute Order 66 on Ahsoka. So this episode gives a bit of a what could have been had Anakin not trained Ahsoka in this way. Ahsoka goes again and the clones absolutely melt her, really just showing how good the clones are. Anakin pushes Ahsoka to her limit and Rex expresses his concern about how hard he is pushing her. And really the only reason why Ahsoka will eventually be able to survive Order 66. But Anakin's harsh training isn't just a reflection of his high standards, but it's also a reflection of a deeper desire to protect those he cares about, a trait very prominent within Anakin. Anakin then tells Ahsoka that
is about life and death,
which is a bit of a callback to the title of Episode 1 regarding Ahsoka's origin story. But the striking difference between both episodes is that in the first one, Ahsoka's mother simply teaches Ahsoka to respect and honor both as it is. It's a bit more of a passive take on life and death, and one that the Jedi Order frequently preaches about. But in the case with Anakin, it's more about seeking the mastery over both life and death. Through Anakin's teachings, he's also revealing his inner desire to control both, a theme that will play out by the time Revenge of the Sith takes place. Anakin then tells Ahsoka that if she can handle the clones, then she can at the very least handle anything with a blaster, perhaps foreshadowing their future in Rebels where both of them would clash lightsabers, with Ahsoka undoubtedly losing that duel. Ahsoka continues to train and we get a bit of a time skip, which is indicated by Ahsoka's change in outfit, putting this scene well into the later stages of the Clone Wars. We can also see this with Ahsoka dual wielding as well. Now later into Clone Wars, you can also see that the clones are wearing Phase 2 armor. And we can see that Ahsoka is getting much better, pulling off the very same move that would help her survive during Order 66. However, the training still ends with Rex surprising Ahsoka and knocking her out, which can be interpreted as Ahsoka still needing to improve on her skill, but also what a valuable ally Rex would become during Order 66. In the closing shots, we see Rex and Ahsoka head out to confront the clones, and in these shots they very much echo what happened during the final season of the Clone Wars. And this episode not only reveals how Ahsoka survived Order 66, but how great of a master Anakin was, having the foresight to prepare his Padawan for any possibility. Just a great episode overall. So that was the breakdown for Episode 5, and without waiting any further, I will see you in the Episode 6 breakdown. I am the Lost Acolyte,
and I have spoken.